Are you ready to perform at your highest potential? Welcome to the Performance Matters podcast from GP Strategies, your talent transformation partner. In each episode, we'll interview industry experts and explore best practices and innovative insights to help your organization improve performance.
Roger, we've heard you mention safety a few times, and I know as the GPI Learn Plus team often says, every worker deserves a safe workplace. But I'm sure it's more than just about keeping everyone safe. So my question to you is, what about, I would call it the dreaded C word, compliance? In my desk job, and I'm sure you would empathize as fellow workers here, we've got to do yearly information, security training, those kind of things. But I imagine technical workers have a lot more to think about when it comes to compliance. So my question to you is, how do organizations make sure their people are following the regulations?
Yeah, I mean, look, Michael, right? Worker safety is always going to be first and foremost for an organization, right? That's most important. Send people home every day in the way in which they arrived, right? Or hopefully better, right? And yes, right. Compliance is certainly important. It's in a very regulated industrial world. Sometimes it just seems like it gets more regulated in certain businesses and areas, and companies are focused on ensuring that they're in compliance with safety, health, environmental, other regulatory standards, maybe local, governmental, federal. It goes down the line, right? Certainly that training piece comes first, but that's easy to just say, right? But there's more to it, right? What it is understanding, in my world, understanding the what and the why, then applying the content and lessons to support that, really to try to achieve and maintain compliance, right? If you provide that real world example, give them the tools to succeed, have those procedures, protocols, and accountability components with the feedback in there, you're kind of building it as part of their day-to-day world. So they don't necessarily, it's their daily work then. It's not like you're just being compliant or you're having to do something and trying to make it interesting, right? There's no shortage of those regulatory procedures and reporting. So you have to do it by blending the training into the standards, right? I think I kind of said that, but just really specifically blend it into the standards is one way to ensure it. But make it again part of their daily work. And one more time, just on the safety piece, it's not really about fixing errors. It's about that proactive human involvement, right? Human performance, understanding. We don't want them just reacting to accidents or a problem. We want them to know how to avoid the accidents, how to see things before to create that safe work environment, really from day one. So we teach learners about that: pre-work assessments, self-checking, peer checking, concurrent and independent verification, and a lot of more, like what I call general skills that technical folks in a technical world should understand in order to get out there to be compliant, but also be safe.
That reminds me of when I've had a chance to go to automotive manufacturing facilities and, going there as more of a creative director and writer, thinking about what's the story, but having to learn very specific protocols that the team needs to use in the factory. Even just the fact of pointing where you want to go before you'd make a turn or something like that. It sounds silly at first, but when you do it, you realize, oh wow, not only is that safe, but you're giving someone who might be on a forklift a visual cue that you're going in that direction. It's like your blinkers. And so those are the kind of things that when you said what you said about, it's not about fixing errors, it's about human performance, and really hitting home for me. So I can see how that's a lot of value on that end, Roger.
The Performance Matters podcast is brought to you by GP Strategies. Together, we can create a world where business excellence makes possibilities achievable. You can subscribe to the show anywhere you get podcasts or listen on our website at gpstrategies.com.